So today we will try to cover all of these topics like software testing overview, SDLC, software development life cycle and its models, principles of testing, STLC, which is software testing life cycle. What is the difference? That also we will learn that what is the difference between SDLC and STLC. Software testing types, methods, levels, what all the documentation required in software testing, defect management process, and few interview questions. Okay, so we'll try to cover today, or else we will cover this in our next class. So combinedly we will cover in 2 classes these topics. Okay, so anybody know about what is software testing? What is software testing? Why we do software testing? Any of you have any idea that why we do software testing? What is the requirement? If somebody has created their software, like suppose, e-commerce software, like how to, like suppose Amazon has created their software for selling their products. So why it is required to test it?
To find the bugs.
Correct.
And to see if it's working perfectly for the customer use.
Right, correct, absolutely correct. So to find the defects, because when developer do their own development, they don't know how to find their own defects. Everybody is difficult. It's difficult for everyone to find defects in their own work, right? So that's why testing people came into picture, because developers develop their product, but there could be a possibility that there are defects in their bugs in their code. So we are here to find the defects in the product which they have created, correct? So that's why. And second thing is, as she said correctly, that second thing is to give the good quality product, correct? Anybody wants to add anything else in their mind, that why we do software testing? First thing is very correct, to find the defect. Second thing is,
also there could be multiple things on the e-commerce site, like load, how it performs when multiple users log in. So there could be performance testing as well, along with quality.
Correct, that is true. Yes.
One more is whether the product is matching the expected product.
Correct. Correct. Whether the product is matching the expectation of the client. So actual and expected should be should be clear and very, yes,
near to each other.
Right. Devashri is right. Anyone else? Yes, so these are the few things, like first thing is to find defects. Second thing is that there should not be any deviation from the requirement and what we are delivering to them. So both the things should be matching. That's why we tester came into picture to verify that, to validate and verify that whether the expected and the actual product what we are giving is should be same, and your product should be as per your expectation, right? Okay, so that's the part. Yes, anybody wants to add anything? Yes, Shakti. See, if you are not talking, then be on mute. I'm keeping everyone on mute. If you are not talking, just keep on mute. Okay. So why testing is important? We have covered this, that testing is important to find the defects and the deviation from the expected and the actual. Okay, so if the expected is different from what we are giving to them, which is actual, then we should really figure it out, and we should file the defect. Yes, to maintain the quality of our product. Quality, correct. So quality is also one of the main reason. That's why tester came into picture. So quality of the product should be as per the expectation, correct? So that's why testing is important. Who does the testing? Can anyone tell who, like in our project, suppose we get a project, so who all do the testing?
Right from the developer, the testing thing starts. So developer is the one who does the testing at the very beginning stage.
Correct.
And then it moves to the testing team.
Correct.
So we can perform at a different level, different type of testing we can do. And at the end, the end user is also a tester.
Correct.
I mean, whoever uses that application or website, we can call them as a tester.
Correct.
Their own way, they are doing some kind of testing.
Absolutely correct. Correct. Anyone else want to add? Yes. Anyone want to add? So, if someone asks you who does the testing, so your answer should be like correctly, Gauri has said correctly, but your answer should be each and every person who are involved in the project are also involved in the testing process. Either they are manager or delivery manager or anybody. Right from the developer, testers, lead, managers, delivery manager, everybody should involve in their own way of testing. So what managers what type of testing manager do? Anyone?
Exploratory testing.
Correct. Exploratory testing. Why they do testing? Because they have the domain knowledge. They have their own domain knowledge. So they do exploratory testing. That means they are exploring the product which the developer has created. The whatever domain knowledge they have, they just try to test it, and they do their exploratory testing and try to find the defect in their own way. Okay. So each and every person who are involved in the project are doing their own testing. Okay, right from the developers, testers, and senior managers, all are involved in the testing. Okay, clear everyone? Any doubt in this? So why we do software testing, why it is important, and who all does do testing in the project? So yeah, clear everyone? No question. So we'll move to the next topic, which is SDLC. What is SDLC full form? Software Development Lifecycle. So in this software development lifecycle, when we got a contract or when we are getting a project from the client, these are the phases which we have to go through to make our process easier. Okay, so these are the different phases, like maintenance phase. Sorry, first is requirement analysis phase. Okay, so we do the.
Hello, madam.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. Madam, nowadays everybody is using agile methodology. Are you
Correct.
going to teach agile methodology or only this software development?
See, we have a different class for agile. The models which I am going to teach you is as a waterfall model, spiral model, and V&V model. Okay, agile model. If I'm going for agile, I know it's very much in demand and everyone is using agile methodology. But for learning agile methodology, you need to have a separate, session for that. Okay, and that is not covered in our course. But of course, in my project also, I'm using agile methodology and it is very much in use. But right now, this is the course curriculum we are teaching. But of course, if you request for some agile sessions, we can do the agile sessions also. That is a good idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need it, right, madam? Just but because now everybody ask,
Agile.
are you working in
Agile
agile method?
methodology.
Agile
Yeah.
methodology. You should know about
Yeah.
Jira. You should know about how we
Yes,
are
madam.
how the sprints are going, how what is retrospective, what is
Yes, madam.
how how your scrum meetings are going on. But it take too much time to explain each and everything, right? So so yeah, we can have one session on agile a model, but right now this is also important. I mean, this is like a I mean, everything is included in agile also, right? SDLC is also included in agile, so you have to understand this part also to learn that. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if we get some, glimpses of the agile methodology as well, later sometime later
Yeah,
in the training,
of
that would
course.
be really great.
Of course, yeah, sure. Definitely. Definitely. We will have one session on agile also. But for that, you also these are all Jira tools or special, especially you have to learn some tools also. Only these tools are not. I mean, if you are learning Selenium, Java, only this much is not enough for you. You have to learn some other tools also, which are supporting tools like management tools like Jira. You should learn that also. Maybe in later classes, I will teach you, what we are doing in Jira, right? So I can show my project and I'll explain you that how Jira works, how you create defects on that, how you create stories on that. So that also I can show you what I do in my project. Okay. So that way that might help you. But right now, as few are very new to this manual testing also, so I have to explain these many features, like what all features are involved in software development life cycle. Okay. Clear, everyone? Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Chair.
Sure. Okay, then these are the phases, different phases which is involved in software development life cycle. Okay, so what are all those phases? Requirement analysis, defining, designing, coding, testing. Then after testing, there is deployment and then maintenance. Okay, so these are the different phases which are involved in software development life cycle. Okay, requirement analysis include what all the requirements you gather from the client at the time of when they give the project to you, right? Then defining, we define that what all requirements, uh, how we will define it in our project, how it process, how we are what all you know responsibilities we give to which team, which module will go to which team. Those are all defining, comes in defining. Then designing, we do the high level design, that all the uh, uh, designing part we do, that how the classes will be made. Yes, 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 Priya.
Architect, the
Sorry.
designing do architect.
Architect
person.
do all the designing, correct? So high level designing the architect will do, correct? So anybody wants to add anything here, like who all do the designing, and then after designing high level design, which architecture do, then the coding will start, correct? So coding will start with the, which is a low level design, correct? So
Chavi, the designing phase, so the testers will be involved into that, or it's not
of
required
course,
only?
Of course, nowadays tester is required from very beginning. Testers are involved. I mean, testers are involved in a very beginning when we are getting the requirement analysis. So testers are always there from the very beginning, which is a good thing that they also understand along with the developer, they also understand the project. So while doing the testing, it is easy for them to find their defect. They also know the big picture of the project. Of course, like developers has to understand and do their part, and which is more deep, and coding is involved in it. But of course, testers are involved from the very beginning nowadays to get early defects, to get good understanding of the project. So yes, testers are involved in requirement analysis phase, designing. See, designing part, they are not much involved in that. Why? Because they don't need to understand that which classes you are going to write, or I mean, how you are doing the coding. That is not required. But yeah, requirement phase, it's important for testers to understand. Okay. Then comes the coding. Coding, they do all the low level design. Real development is done in this phase. After coding, it is given to the tester for testing. Then after testing, all the defects has been fixed. After that, there is a deployment, and then it is given to the client after deployment, and then there is a maintenance phase, which is when once the code is up and running, you do the maintenance so that it should give good as per expected, as whatever you are have done in the project, it should work as per expectations. So that's why you do some maintenance phase also. Maintenance also, you give that facility to the client that for few months you give maintenance, so that if there is any further requirement, then they can come back to you, and then you provide them your services. So that is maintenance phase. Okay, clear everyone? Any doubt in this? Okay, so this is about the SDLC. So these are few models of SDLC, which is waterfall model. I know that this is not much in use, but why I'm included here is because still it is used when it is a, like when the system, when we are creating any project which is predefined, like suppose taking admission, correct? Attendance, calculator. So these are small projects where waterfall model is required. And waterfall model is why they want to use it, because it's very easy and cheap. Because it's when you are using waterfall model for small project, you should know that, correct? So where waterfall model is used, when we have a defined requirement, freeze requirement, you know that these are the requirements, and these are fixed requirement for any project. So that time we use waterfall model, where requirement doesn't change, and they have the fixed requirements. Okay, for the small projects, maybe for the small projects and predefined projects, we use waterfall model. The only thing is, do you know what is the special thing about waterfall model? Anybody know? Anybody has any idea?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
When it goes to the next level, that next process, that previous process will be locked. Like you can't again go back to that previous process.
Correct. So once the requirement is done and you have come to design phase, you cannot go back to the requirement phase. Okay, so that's why So that's why this waterfall model is very, very, fixed and very cheap and very easy for use, because your requirements doesn't gonna change once it is given by your client. It will not change, but not in like as I said, it's not in agile module or any other module that you cannot change your requirement. Only in waterfall model, you cannot change your requirement, and your requirements are freezed when you are done with your requirement analysis. Okay. Then comes the designing, development, testing, deployment, maintenance. All these phases are same, but once you are done with the development, coming to testing, it will not go back to the development. Okay, so that's why.
Chavi,
Yes.
yeah, if development has handed over to testing team and their client realize that some other requirement that should be in this release. So yeah, as this one is the waterfall methodology, it's not possible to go back again to design or the development. So that requirement will be done in the next release, or how does that work
Correct.
in the
It will be
company?
done in the next release, because, as I said, these requirements are only for the small and easy modules. Correct. So that's why it's nowadays waterfall model is not very popular. It's not used, but this is how it is. I mean, see, this is for the interview purpose, that if interviewer asks you, like, can you go back to the previous stage when you are done with your waterfall model? So waterfall model stage. So you should say, no, we cannot do that because it is not allowing us to go back to the previous stage. Okay, that should be your answer. If you said that, no, if somebody do the testing, get the bug, then what will happen? So that is not waterfall model. Then you have to follow the agile model if you want to do like that. Okay, then you can do the agile model, but in the waterfall model, the process is like this only. Okay, you can get some interview question also, right? You could get that. So in this phase, can we go back to the development? So the answer should be no, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to go back to the development time after doing the testing, then you follow the different model. This is not for you. Got it?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
And the tester will not involve from beginners.
Sorry, tester
No.
will not involve for?
From beginners, begins
No.
this waterfall models.
No, testers are always involved. Why? Because testers should know the requirement, right?
I think in
This
waterfall model is
this
in
is about the
waterfall model we
phases.
can
This is about the phases. But testers' duty is always from the beginning only, because they should know the requirements, right? If it is not involved, how will they know the requirement, right?
I
Maybe they have
waterfall model.
Maybe they will introduce later point of time, but they have to follow the process, requirements and all. They have the understanding.
In waterfall model, they don't just hire on testing stage.
Maybe it happened. Maybe it could happen that they hired it. In agile also, sometimes they hire later point of time, but the good idea and the best idea behind involving the tester is they should come in the time of requirement phase only, right? But in when actually the project has been conducted, of course, like I am involved in one of my agile project, correct? I am a tester, I am an automation tester, even though I have involved very later point of time. But the thing is, when you are going for an interview, you should not say like this. Otherwise, your impression will go down. So ideal things only you should know, not the real things. Otherwise, you will mess up in the interview. So the thing is, ideal thing is that that tester should involve in the very beginning in the requirement phase only. But the When you go into the real projects, that time, of course, testers are involved very late in the project. Why? Because to save the money. That's it. Right? But when someone asks you, some interviewer asks you that when the tester should be involved, if you say that, yeah, after development, after after you develop your project, then also you can involve the tester. No, this is not a good answer. You know, the answer should be the tester should be involved in the very beginning, in the requirement phase only. It should be involved. And when you are giving the, when the client is giving the requirement, the tester should be involved in that time also. Because when client is telling you the requirement or a BA are telling you the requirement, then tester should also be involved in that time. Okay, so this is your ideal answer. Okay, got it?
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay, so this is about waterfall model. Next is the spiral model. Again, this is also not for, no, nowadays it is not used, but of course it in interview purpose or, in some written test, sometimes they have asked you that what is the specialty of the spiral model, or why spiral model is so much in use nowadays, or for which type of project spiral model is used. Correct? So the answer should be, maybe there are multiple choice answers, like for simple projects, for complicated project, for risk taking project, and for big projects. So your answer should be, what is the specialty of the spiral model? Because it involves the risk analysis. So if it is very risky projects or it's very complicated projects where risk has involved, so spiral model is used. Only because of this, I have included this in my curriculum. Okay. Spiral model is a combination of iterative development process model and sequential. Okay. So waterfall is a sequential and agile is an iterative development model. So this is a spiral model is a combination of both. Okay. Combination of both. Why? Because it could be this iterative also, and it could be the sequential also. Okay. So what all phases involved in spiral model? Planning, then risk analysis, then development and testing, and then evaluation. Evaluating whether you have done properly or not. Okay. So planning, of course, in the planning, you get all the, requirement analysis, all those things will be designing, planning, everything involved in this planning phase. After that, coding, risk, what all risk are might be included in the project. So basically, spiral model is for versions, like suppose you have Windows versions, right? Window you have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we have 11. So 12 is also coming. So in this phase, what all risk has been involved in the previous version? Okay, and what all new things you can give it to your users. So those things, those are very complicated plus risky. Risk analysis is required in those type of projects. So that those type of projects, spiral model will be very helpful. Okay. So that's why I have included this in our curriculum. So that you know that if the risk is involved in your project, then you should use spiral model. Okay. Nothing else is required for this particular because very few projects they use spiral model, but still it is used and you should know about this. That's why it is included. Clear, everyone? So if whenever you have, yes. Yes, Kirti.
Yeah, in this evaluation phase, so all that UAT people and validation team will be
Correct.
comes under that phase. Oh,
Correct, correct. Evaluation means what? Same thing, like whether you are whatever actual product you are giving, is it same for is it expect whatever they are expecting, that also that only you are giving or not? So that is the evaluation. Only the name is different, but the concept is all same, that you have to give the product as per their expectation. They evaluate that, validate, verify. Same thing happens in this particular phase. Clear, Kirti?
yeah, Chavi,
Yes.
thanks.
Okay. Now comes the verification and validation model. So this is also very much in use, verification and validation. So here, the left side is verification. Verification means what? Anybody know? This is also very important topic. What is the difference between verification and validation? Anyone know what is the difference? Yes. Verification. Okay.
Verification,
Yeah.
like related to documents and writing
Correct.
all the requirement and all.
Correct.
And validation is real-time testing, real-time coding and all.
Correct. Correct.
I
Perfect.
guess that validation is after the product is, I mean, once we made the product, after that only we can do the validation.
That is what she said. Same thing. After the product is created, then it's a validation. Before that, it's all verification.
Verification, right.
Verification is a static thing and validation is a dynamic thing, correct? So when you are doing something, then it comes a validation. When you are verifying with from the documents, and when you are doing some writing something, not executing, that means you are doing verification. Verification is the left side, and right side is all about validation. Okay, so user requirements. Okay, so you are doing all the analysis, right? Whatever phases which we have learned till now, all the gathering of information, whatever you called it, what you called it, specific requirement specification. Either you call it as a document, or you call it as SRS document.
Writing
Requirement
test
analysis.
plans.
Yes, writing test plans, doing all the walkthrough, or all different terms, whatever terms. Requirement analysis, and it could be different names of in different companies, correct? So somebody says it's a it's a document, client document. Somebody says CRS, client related documents, or somebody says any name you can give. Okay, but all those are the specification, software specification, which is given by the client. You are doing the analysis, you are just studying it, doing the high level designing, low level designing. Till this part, you are all walkthroughing your documents and preparing it for your development purpose, right? These are your walkthroughs. These are your verifications. Now comes the validation. When you start writing the, whatever analysis you have done till now, you now start writing it in your code and then executing it. That is called as validation. Validating the whatever data you are entering, whatever projects you have taken from the client, you are started doing the analysis, so that started doing the coding, so that is called as validation. Okay, so first step is user requirement. Okay, So in the user requirement, what tester do? They start writing their acceptance testing. Okay, start writing their or creating their test cases. Okay, so test cases, they have start writing about the acceptance testing. In software specification, they start writing about the system testing test cases. Okay, and in high level, they do the integration testing. In low level, they do the unit testing test cases writing. Okay, once the coding has been done, they start executing it. Whatever they have written, they start executing, and then that is why this is called as validation. They are executing, they are running their scripts. Either you write it manually or you write it automation. You do the testing part. You do your testing part after coding has been done. Clear, everyone? Any doubt?
No.
No. Clear? So this is called as V model because it's like a V, and verification and validation is involved in it. Okay. Okay. So these are the principles of testing. Okay. So these are 6 principles. There could be 7 also. So this is for the assignment. You have to understand what is principle of testing, why it is used. We have covered a few of them, but just Google it and try to find all the principles of testing. And then in the next class, we'll discuss, okay, what is detection of bugs. See, tester have the, as we have said that this is the main work of tester is to find the defects, correct? What is effective testing, early testing, defect in clustering? What is defect in clustering? Testing is context dependent. And what is error-free testing is a myth. Okay, so once you read it from the Google, it will be more easy for you to understand. Okay, only defect in clustering, I'll explain in this class. So anybody know what is defect in clustering? Or from this word, can you make it find out that what is defect in clustering? Okay, no one? Okay, when we are creating or when we are testing any project, do you think that like there are different modules? Okay, different modules. Suppose you want to buy a mobile from online, you are buying a mobile. So what is the difficult part of that particular process? Can someone tell? What is the, like not difficult, but what could be the where you find more defects? If you are testing, okay, from end-to-end testing, you know what is end-to-end testing? Like from searching or like from logging into the system, searching your mobile, adding it to your card, doing the payment, and your mobile is after payment and everything, your mobile comes to your home, right? So this is called as, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
This
Yes,
is
ma'am.
called as end-to-end testing.
End
So
to
what,
End-to-end testing.
what do you think, which is the most difficult part in this particular process?
Yeah, ma'am, the most risk section is like just while you are trying to save it in your cart and doing payment thing.
Payment thing, correct? So you understood what is the difficult. There only you will find the most number of defects.
Most of the bugs issues.
Correct? Yeah. So that is called as defect in clustering, where you find most number of defects. So if you don't have time, okay, you are doing this end-to-end testing so many times, but still you want to find some defect and you don't have much time to find defects. So what you will do, you will concentrate on that particular area where you are dealing with the, where you are dealing with,
Complicated, yeah.
complicated area, correct. So the complicated area is where when you are linking this, your bank, and then your bank will give the payment to this particular thing. Correct. I'm just telling you an example. This could be a complicated in other projects. There could be other things which are complicated. Correct. So try to find that defects and try to find that, complicated area where you find more number of defects. Right. So that is called as defect in clustering, where you find defects in many, in one place you can find many defects. Are you getting my point? So that is called as defect in clustering. Okay. Now you learn all the principles of testing. This is like, it is a simple way of teaching you that why testing is important. And these are all the important things which you have to keep in mind when you are doing the testing. Okay. So it is good that you read these things from Google, and then it will be more clear to you. If you are not clear with these principles, we will cover this in our next class. Okay. So these are your assignments. Everyone understand at least this one, defect in clustering?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Once you of course you go and read again, so that it will be more clear to you. If it is not clear, we will cover this in our next class. Okay. Okay. This is about software testing life cycle. Okay. Software testing life cycle. What is software testing life cycle? Can someone read this for me? This much. Kirti, could you please?
Yeah. Software testing life cycle, in short, STLC, is a sequence of a specific activities conducted during the testing process to ensure software quality goals are met. STLC identifies what test activities to carry out and when to accomplish those test activities.
Correct. So what you understood is like SDLC is the subset of SDLC, where the testing comes, no, there comes the, see here, when the testing comes, then this SDLC, inside the SDLC, there is a STLC, correct? So software testing is a sequence of specific activities conducted during the testing process to ensure that the, as we are learned so many times, that the goal of the testing is to give the quality product, correct? So what all the phases involved in this is requirement analysis. Again, we do the requirement analysis, test planning, test case development. Okay, so we'll write all the test cases. Then what happened is test environment setup. Okay, so we set up the environment, and then only we execute our test cases. Okay, so one most important thing is here is never do testing in the development environment. Always ask for the quality, like QA environment for doing your testing. Okay, so always set up the environment. Always create a test setup environment. Okay, for testing, there is a different environment for development, and then there is a different environment for testing. So always ask for a QA environment to do all your testing. What is environment? Can someone tell? Environment means you have to create a URL. Okay, different URL. You should not use the URL which is a development URL. Always use a testing
functional regression.
Yes, yes. Purushottam, yeah, tell me what you want to say here.
Functional environment and regression environment.
Correct. Where you are doing the regression testing. Correct. So never do your testing on development environment. Otherwise, you are not able to find your defects. Right? So this is very important thing. So this environment is set up by the developer only, or there is a different team for setting up this environment. Okay. Sorry. So this is not tester's responsibility to set up an environment, but it's always important to realize that is this a test QA environment or not, or is this a what Purushottam has said, what feature environment? What you said? It should not be a feature environment. It should be a QA environment only. Okay. So we should always keep in mind this point. Okay. So
You just mentioned that so test environment setup, that's not the tester's responsibility.
correct.
So who will take care of that environment setup
See, if
task?
it depends, like if for my project, developer do
Okay.
this. Uh, I mean, they create environment for. Sometimes client create the environment. Okay. Sometimes in different projects, I have seen that there is a different team who are responsible for setup of QA environment. But that should not be a development environment, should be a different URL. The URL should be different. It should not be a the URL should not same as what developer are doing their development on. Okay. There's the environment should be different. The URL should be different. For you, they create a new URL, and then in that URL you have to uh, do your testing.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah, when we join at any company, or we are very first, it's the first day, so we just try to gather this information with our
Correct.
colleagues. Where do we
Correct.
get
Correct.
that?
Correct. Because see, setup environment will come in the fourth stage. Correct. So you are
Yeah,
doing,
yeah,
you might be like little older, or you might be have to understand first the requirement, then your test plan, you
correct.
should involve in the test planning, and then you create your test cases. After that, once their development has been done, okay, these are like build, correct? So they give you the build. So that
Yeah,
build should be in a QA environment. So that
yeah.
comes little later. So that time you should be aware of, or you can ask that who will set up the QA environment, or they might be doing it, but you should be aware that they should do it. Correct?
Okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
So after set up this environment, you can execute your test cases, and then you can submit your test reports, that daily test reports, that these many test cases you have executed, these are passed, these are fail. With the fail, you should link the defect. Correct? So it's like that. Any doubt in this SDLC, software testing lifecycle? Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So types of software testing. So there are two types of mainly software testing: manual and automation. In manual, we are not using any tool. Okay, we are manually writing our test cases, and we are manually going and clicking all the application to there. But in automation, we write our test scripts, and all the test cases are written in particular tool. And then when we are executing our tool, it automatically go to the application, check all the test cases, and then give you the report with the suitable pass and fail, suitable logs. Clear? So these are the types of software testing. So we will learn about more about the tools in later point of time. Okay, one more assignment here is manual test cases. Okay, so you have to understand that writing manual test cases are very important. Okay, whether you are learning tools, but you should always know how to write your test cases manually. Okay, so I'm giving you an assignment of writing 20 test cases manually. Okay, and you can take the help of these test cases which previous batch student has written, but don't copy paste everything. Okay, just try to just see it, and actually with the help of that you write your test cases. Choose any site. Okay, choose any site of your wish, like he has chosen Amazon. So you have to write the 20 test cases, 10 test cases positive and 10 test cases negative. So you know what is negative testing? Negative testing, anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Tell me, Kirti, what is negative testing?
Yeah, negative testing would be for example, we are logging in any application. So when we put the username, there is if naming conventions is only characters, and if we enter any different characters than alphabets, so
Correct.
it will throw the error.
Correct.
So, and that is the negative. We want to test with a different character
Correct.
at a username field.
Very good. Very good. So that is called as negative testing. Kirti has said very correctly, said when you get the error message, when you are not writing the expected result, what they are expecting, the application, what is they are expecting, we are not writing that. That time we get a error message. So that is called as negative testing. Okay. So, don't confuse with when the test case is failed, that is a negative testing. No, that is wrong assumptions. When you are getting some error message, that is a negative testing. Okay, when you get an error message, that is a negative testing, but the expected result is same. Like you should get an error message. Okay, so you should get an error message if you are writing a wrong thing, if you are writing and entering a wrong alphabets or special character you are writing in login, that is a wrong thing. So you should get an error message. So that is a negative testing, and you should get a pass for that. Your expected and actually is same. That means it is passing. Okay. So you have to write, and everyone understood. Any doubt, please ask.
Madam, that means if we want to when you want to break the software, like if you're writing test cases like in that type of thing that you are you want to break the software, that is negative testing.
Correct.
Test
Correct.
cases when you want
That
to
is
break the software.
trying to break the software, that is a negative testing. Correct. But it should not break, but it should give you the expected result. Like should give the error message, right? Yeah.
If it is not giving error message, means bug is there, issue is there,
Correct.
defect is there.
Correct. Very good. Yes, you understood correctly. Everybody clear?
Yeah,
Gauri,
Chavi, just
Bharat? Yeah. Yes, Kirti.
yeah. So can we say it's simply invalid inputs to get the expected result? Means
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah.
Can we
That
say
is
it?
negative test case. Correct.
Yeah.
So when you
So,
are giving the invalid input in your
huh, field.
login,
Input field.
so
Yeah.
you get the error message. That
Yeah.
is that is a pass test case, but this is a negative test case, correct? So
Correct.
the log will be passed. So this will be pass. This log will be like here, this is called as log when pass and fail is there. So this is pass, but the test case is negative test case. Okay, because
Yeah.
you're getting an error message. So whenever
Error
you're
message.
getting an error message, that means it's a negative testing.
Negative
Okay,
testing.
got
Yeah,
it?
that is the expected result.
That is the expected result, right? So expected is only you get an error message, right?
Correct.
So that is
Yes.
negative testing. Everyone understood? Any doubt you can ask. Okay, so these are the few assignments which has given here. Just try to, I'll create one more. Here is one sheet where I'm writing. Group 13 assignment. Okay, group 13 group assignment. Okay, so you can write your name here, like they have written here, name and name and what application you are using, so that I know that these are the application you are using. Okay, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
So whatever test cases sheet is, we have to just keep it with us for the next class, right? We don't have to send it to you or anything.
Sorry, can you come again, Kirtis? I missed something.
Yeah. No, just my question is, you have given us the assignment. So we have, and it's a test cases, creating test case. So when we create that one, obviously it will be in the Excel sheet. So do we have to send it that sheet to you, or we have to keep it with
So
us
just
for the
add
next
it here
class?
only. I'll check from here only. This is a Google sheet. Everyone has this access, and everyone has access to this sheet, I guess, right?
Yeah, so where we are getting that
Which one,
documentation.
madam? We are not able to see anything.
Yeah,
Could you share
me
it?
too. I'm not able to find it. Okay, yeah, I just got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the sheet link. You you should have the access of this. I have given you access from very first day when you have joined. I have sent you that, check that whether you have access to this sheet or not. So there you can just write your name and the what application you are.
That is Selenium QA training.
Correct. This is Selenium QA training. Here there are different sheets, right? You see there are different sheets. If you check, this is overview sheet. This is.
Yeah, batch 10, batch 11, like
Correct.
that, batch 12.
Correct. So some people has created so many sheets, no? So I have to delete it. Okay, I'll do this later. But when you come here, this is like batch 1, batch 2, batch 3. So you have batch 13. So yours is batch 13 group assignment. Okay. In this batch 13 sheet, I'm putting all the day wise, like today is day 1, right? So day one manual testing. Like today we have covered the topic is manual testing. Okay,
So Chavi madam, sorry to interrupt you, but we are unable to see your screen. I'm not sure. Are you sharing with us?
yeah, I'm sharing. Oh, okay, got it.
Sorry.
Maybe I have not shared the whole. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Can you see now?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are able. Yeah.
Sorry. It's my bad. Okay. So is okay. So what I have done is I have created one batch 13 group assignment. And oh, you have not seen this, whatever I was showing no before. Sorry for that.
Yeah, we are not.
Oh. So here,
And can you maximize the screen? Thank you.
Is this maximized?
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
It's already maximum, like, yeah.
Yeah, it's maximum only. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Okay, so I have to explain again. So this is the group 12 assignment. Okay, group 12, batch 12 group assignments. This is batch 13 group assignments now I have created. So similarly, batch 11 group assignment is also there. Okay, so this way you have to create your own test cases. So positive test cases and negative test cases. Got it? 20 test cases everybody has to write. Don't just copy paste everything. You have to write your own site. Okay, he has used Amazon, you can use some other one. Okay, any application you can write and write your test case summary, test case description, prerequisite, or whatever. See, this is not a thumb rule to do all such of thing, all everything. Every company has their own way of writing the manual test case, but at least include the main things. Okay, clear everyone? Any doubt?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then just write your assignment here. You just copy paste it here. Okay, with your name and your website which you are using. Okay, coming back to this. Okay. Automation testing, how automation testing is beating the manual testing. Okay, so manual testing is time consuming, risk taking, okay, require tester all the time, manually created logs and repositories, and limited scope. So why it is limited scope? So suppose sometimes we have a we don't have time to test all the test cases, right? So suppose there are 500 test cases for an application, but we don't have time. So what we have to do, we have to just check the main test cases or major, like what is the, as I said, the only the important test cases we have to pick, and then we have to test those test cases. But in automation, it's not like that. Once you have done with the creating of on the manual, all the script is created, you just have to click and all the test cases has been executed automatically and your testing has been done. So it's fast and frequently executed. You can execute any number of time, right? So you do a small change, then also you can start your test suite and do all the testing at any number. Frequently, you can do it. It is more accurate. Of course, like when you are doing it manually, man could do mistakes. But when you are done with your automation script writing, and it will be doing the same testing again and again with more accuracy. Okay, less investment of human resource. Again, there is a catch here. Okay, if someone asks you that is this less investment in human resource, once the automation script has been done, okay, then it is a less human resource. But when you are creating those scripts, that time it is time consuming also, and there are humans like resources also required, much more than manual testing, correct? So so you have to answer. If somebody asks you, you have to be very careful when you are doing giving the answer. So once the script has been done, then it is less time consuming, and if you are writing all the scripts, that time it is time consuming. Okay, so be careful on answering these such type of question. They can, they can trick you and ask you such things that is automation not time consuming? So you have to say that when it is an initial stage of creating a script, that time it is time consuming, but once the script has been completed, then it is a cost effective, time effective, and less investment in human resource. All these things will come after that. Early time to market, of course, when you have ready with your test script, you have your product might be delivered quickly, then client is happy that they have early time to market it. Correct? It's suppose retesting, regression testing. So that's why automation testing is very useful. Okay, clear everyone? Any doubt in this particular thing? Yes, anyone has any doubt? Am I audible to all now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Audible.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Next
That
topic.
means in
Yeah,
automation that at the beginning time we are investing time and human resources, but once it is done, it will be faster and easier.
correct. That's what I wanted to say. Perfect. This is like my thoughts had been conveyed to you correctly then. Okay. Okay, next topic is software testing methods. Like these are all the different methods. You have to understand that what are the software testing types, methods, principles. So you should remember all those things. Okay. So different methods are black box testing, white box testing, and gray box testing. Anybody know about all these methods? Can they explain what is black box testing?
Ma'am, little bit. I
Yeah.
forgot all these things in my
Correct.
gap.
Correct. That's why I'm giving just like a high level understanding. I'm not giving it detail, but you should touch all these things so that it will be easy for you to understand the next next topics which we are going to cover. Yes.
Black box testing means testing the product by seeing the documents only, not in that coding part.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And
Like
white
system,
box.
yeah.
Yeah, correct. Like system testing.
Yeah, system testing and all. And white box testing is testing that coding thing that the developer mainly does this.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Correct.
that unit testing and all.
Correct. So, as the name says, black box testing, you cannot see any internal things. Anybody else want to add anything? Good, Swati. Very good.
So black box testing, can we say the backend application testing?
No.
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 Backend means database.
Yeah,
It
database testing. I mean, you cannot say that black box testing is not backend. Backend testing is API testing. If API, you say API testing is a backend testing, I said yes, it is.
Okay.
It is a backend testing. But black box testing is UI. You are seeing the UI and you're doing the stuffs, right? You are clicking on the Facebook, you're clicking on this button, that button, right?
Means
So you
GUI
are
part.
Yeah, just as a user, you are
As
testing.
the end user.
Correct. So backend is different. Backend is like not database testing is not backend. Backend testing is totally different. When you are getting your 404 error, data not found error, all those error you are getting, that is a backend testing where you get API is
Okay.
involved, right? Black box testing is totally functional testing. Functional means you are, as I said, requirement analysis time, you are understanding all the requirements, all the functions, all the functionality wise, you understand your application, and then you are doing the testing. You are not involved in coding part. That is black box testing. Okay, where you are not seeing any internal things. You are just checking the functionality of the application, whether you are able to search your products, whether you are able to add it into your card, whether you are able to do the payments or not, whether you are able to it delivers in your home or not. All these things should be do seamlessly. If it end to end,
Black bug testing
perfectly.
done by the testers and the white box is done by the developers, right, madam? Gray box, both, right?
Both, correct. So white box, very good. Yes, Purushottam. Black box is done totally by the testers. That's why they don't know the internal things about about the coding and all. White box is done by the developers, correct? So developer sometimes the code is already given to them and they have to do some testing like code coverage testing and statement coverage, something like that. So a few are included in that. That is also I can include in your assignment, that white box testing. You have a code coverage, statement coverage, and two more things like I don't remember that. So those things are involved in the white box testing, where you check that all the coding, all the lines of your code has been covered or not. So those are called white box testing. Gray box testing, as he said correctly. So gray box testing is the combination of both. Black box testing plus white box testing is equals to gray box testing. Okay. Clear, everyone? So you just read all these things. I will share this document with you. Okay. Or else.
You can keep it in that drive, that
Yes,
Google
that
Drive.
drive. It's already there. It's already there. So if you check,
I was searching, but I could not find. I was searching that drive, but I could not find this particular thing.
Okay. Let me share. Let me share that. So this is the QA documents. Okay. So QA documents. I will share this one on also. In this QA documents, you find all these, day 1 link, day 2 links. So I will share this part also with you. Okay. Here only I will share. In batch 13, I will share. Okay.
That is written manual testing, then API, PDF. Yeah. Now I got, Selenium day 1, day 2, day.
Correct. You got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Here I will send it. Okay. So this is about the QA docs. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, we need to scroll down also.
Correct. So you have to scroll down also. Yes. So the resumes I have sent it to the resume link. There you find the QA documents. In the QA documents, you'll find all the documents which are related to whatever I am teaching you, and some other documents also. Okay. So this PDF is also available there. Okay. So read these black box testing. It's very easy to understand. White box testing, gray box testing. Okay. So should we stop here or should we do with the functional or non-functional also? If you say we can stop.
We can stop here, madam.
Yeah. So just go through all these things and then in the next class, we'll start with the functional testing. Okay. I'll stop here.